SEC Conference game as they tangle with the Boston College Eagles. And yeah, it's always a big game when Zion Williamson is in it. But this one is special for us here in our industry because we get a couple of Hall of Famers and a couple of guys who go way, way back to practically the same place. Hubie Brown from Elizabeth at St. Mary High School. They both went on to coach in college. They both went on to coach in the pros, and they grew up only 18 miles apart, and they have both had such a huge impact on this sport that we love. Dan Schulman just having fun being here. Hall of Famer Nick Vital, Hall of Famer Hubie Brown. Isn't it great? It's great to you guys have never done a game together.
No,
we've done a game together.
No, we never did. 50 years ago we met. I'll tell you one thing. This guy has forgotten more basketball than I ever knew, that most ever knew. One of the great clinicians and lecturers in the history of the game. I am honored, Mr. Brown, to sit with you, buddy. A long way from North Jersey.
No, you're right about that. But tonight, let's face it, for me it's special. I was here as an assistant for 4 years, and the atmosphere in here is outstanding. Then you have 4 players on that Duke starting lineup that we might see in the NBA next year. I'm happy to be here to catch them in action.
Coach Brown's been looking forward to seeing Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, and this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to call the game, we're going to reminisce a little bit, and we are ready for basketball here at Cameron with Duke and BC. Duke ranked second in the nation, 19-2, 7-1 in the league. BC 11-9, 2-6 in the ACC. The ball in the hands of Tre Jones.
Outstanding point guard, Hubie. He handles the ball well, and defensively, he suffocates. He's the best defensive guy on the basketball in the game.
The drive by R.J. Barrett, and he'll lay it in for the first bucket of the night.
Well, we know that he can score the basketball. He's one of these people that's a machine. You have a tendency not to realize the production that he's doing in a short period of time.
What a great matchup at the point. We talked about Tre Jones, an outstanding defender. The lead guard for BC, Ky Bowman, is one of the best guards in the country, bar none. Barrett open and an air ball on the three.
Yeah, he had plenty of time. Good decision, though, by Jones.
I'll tell you one thing. You're going to see Boston College come out of the man-to-man and rotate into the zone and make Duke shoot the three.
Wide open look in the corner won't go down for Jordan Chapman. The transfer from BYU. He's a 25-year-old man. He's not a kid.
No.
He went to BYU, went on a Mormon mission, then transferred. So he's been around for a while. And he had a big game against Duke last year up in Chestnut Hill when, by the way, Boston College won the game. Now, of course, a lot of changes, especially for Duke. But BC is no pushover.
No, early this year, he's an outstanding three-point shooter.
That was a shock when they beat him last year. Unbelievable. Bowman had a great game. He's a driver slasher, so underrated. Look at that cut.
Yeah, nice cut.
You got to convert that, though, Hubie. With a great back cut.
Well, it was a good play, though. They set the back screen on the left side of the floor, and there was no switch or no help. He was wide open. The pass was a little late.
They ran it up screen. Got the backdoor, had the layup, really.
Bowman to inbound for BC. Just a minute, 15 seconds in here at Cameron. 2-0 Duke. Bowman will likely not come out of the game. He plays 39 or 40 minutes night in and night out. Baseline jumper not there for Nick Popovich. And down with the rebound to Marquise Bolden. Here's Cam Reddish. Is really any one of 3, maybe 4 Blue Devils can lead them up the court. Bolden with a left-handed slam.
He's getting better and better, Hubie. And as he improves in the post, he blends in well with the 4 stars.
Yeah, well, I've seen him against a number of big, teams that are ranked, and they have got to be able to hold their own at playoff time off the glass at both ends.
Stephon Mitchell with the ball. He's a big guy who can really distribute for BC, and a big guy who can shoot it. Nick Popovich knocks it in to get BC on the board.
No relation to Coach Popovich. No relation. But I'll tell you what, I know Pop couldn't shoot like that.
Zion Williamson misses a 3 at the other end. His first field goal attempt of the night.
They'll be happy if he stays out there.
Let's bring in the 4th member of our team tonight. Down at courtside is Allison Williams.
Hey there, guys. The matchup between point guards Tre Jones and Ky Bowman for BC is huge in this game. Bowman averaging just over 20 points a game, and he plays really well against teams from the Triangle. He's a North Carolina kid, and in 7 games against teams from the area here, he averages 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Bowman said he loves playing here because he gets to play his heart out in front of his family. But his head coach, Jim Christian, said how he handles Tre Jones' ball pressure and defense is key. He's got to keep that turnover number low in order for them to have a chance. He's got to make good decisions and play under control, not try to do too much.
Well, he's going to be tested tonight, mainly because Jones is such an outstanding defender. Now, if you notice that one isolation 2 plays ago, he couldn't get in because he got double teamed.
Love the story of a North Carolina kid who, ironically, was not recruited by any of the Tobacco Road schools in basketball, but was recruited by North Carolina, by the Tar Heels, as a wide receiver in football, but elected to play basketball. He's gone to BC, and he's played, as Allison said, he's played very well down here in his home state. Here's Tre Jones. Follow no good, and Popovich secures it for BC.
Tell you one thing, though, UB, if they open up the court and try to increase the tempo of the game, that's an advantage to do.
Absolutely. The big thing is, though, can you hold them to 1 shot?
How about this? Popovich came into the game tonight having hit 3 threes all season.
He's got two
already tonight.
He's got 2 already. He's stepping up. The only chance of an upset is they have to have a special night shooting the 3 and hope Duke has a bad day shooting the ball.
Williamson making it look easy to snap an 8-0 BC run.
Okay, the first 2 possessions now for him in that right post on the left-hand side, the player's playing behind him. You either got to front him or play him on the top side. Otherwise, he's going to have a big night.
Yeah, you got to get the ball away from him. You can't let him get the ball 12 feet from the goal.
Chapman off his screen. Creates a little space, but he left it short.
See, if I'm coaching BC, I'm happy right now because we're getting good looks at the basket. The main thing is can you shoot the percentage?
And you're happy because the scoreboard's in your favor.
Tied up right now after the reverse by Tre Jones.
He's picked up. Now, you've seen his brother. How do you compare him with his brother? His brother plays
well, look, this is the first time I've looked at him. I would never do that. We all know that this young guy is probably a better defender at this time in his career. But the big thing is when he moves to the next level, can he excel like his brother has up there in Minnesota?
He's playing against a different level of people.
That's right. Well, he had to learn the game, Dave.
Coach K made the point. Tre had Tyus to learn from. Tyus didn't have that advantage of having an older brother.
Oh, what a great offensive rebound.
Zion Williamson
What a great
again.
offensive rebound. Let me ask you this. You've coached a lot of great players. You coached Bernard King, Patrick Ewing, and the list is unbelievable. Lou Hudson, Dan Issel, Jabbar, Oscar.
Great play.
What makes a great player like this kid other than his skills?
They're all coachable. They all can play under pressure, and they all accept the accountability of the team.
8-0 Duke run. They're up by 4. Williamson scoring and dishing as part of this run for the Blue Devils.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile.
We're going to show you evaluators why Zion Williamson is so outstanding. You're going to see the screen. How about this? Head first for a loose ball. Then the ball is going to go again. He is going to chase, all right. And there he goes down again. And remember, they are up 25. Now, we all know the athleticism. We all know the IQ, the fact that he's very coachable. But that's what you're looking for at that next level if you're talking the #1 player. He's got the package.
And you hope and pray. You don't think it's going to happen. Then he changes when the cash register goes ding-a-ling-ding.
No, you don't have to worry about that.
I don't think he's going to change.
Oh, nice. You got to score here. Great block.
Popovich had it rejected by Jamin DeLaurier, who's coming off the bench for Duke.
They need the nation to block shots, UB. That's a heck of a formula. When you're offensively efficient, Duke's top 5 in the nation, offensively and defensively, lead and block shots. That's a formula for success.
Well, on the early going right now, if I'm coaching BC, like I tell you, you're getting great shots. They missed 2 opportunities down in there because the player didn't go strong.
I mean, let's face it, we got 3-star players against 5s. So the 3 has to play like a 5 for 40 minutes for an upset.
Right. Chapman for 3, the assist to Bowman, and right now the 3-pointers keeping BC in the game.
The more times that Bowman can get into the painted area, Chapman will open up on the perimeter. And yet they're the 2 guys. They have to score and shoot a high percentage.
Yeah, they got to score big. Chapman, no doubt about it. They're zoning right now.
Yep.
They're staying bad. They're matching up.
See, if they give you a look. I was watching today at practice. They give you a look of like a 1-2-2, 3-2 zone. Now they can play man or they can play zone. Whatever the coach, whatever the call is. Just keep an eye here now.
Combination. They try to planch up. I mean, hey, kids, they believe they've come in a good attitude before the game. They've lost some tough games, man. They've lost some tough battles.
Absolutely. A couple of very close losses in addition to a couple of overtime losses, and they've been undermanned at various points this year. Have only had the starting five they expected to have for 6 of their 20 games so far this year.
They're missing tabs, averaging 14 points a game. Outstanding freshman.
Duke is doing a good job on Bowman. They continue to trap him. He's got to be able to split the trap, either that or get rid of the ball earlier and catch them in the rotation.
The first game of 2 tonight, or the first night of 2 of the crossover. Later on tonight, John Shambi is with Stan Van Gundy and Chauncey Billups, Kansas and K-State. Then it'll be the Wizards and Bucks tomorrow. Doris Burke, Jay Billis on that, and Mark Jackson and Rebecca Lobo, part of the Spurs Warriors. That promo came and went so fast, I didn't even see who the play-by-play guys were tomorrow, and they're not on the card because, as always, Mr. Vital, you analysts are taking all the thunder for the playoffs.
Oh, what a pass! What a great! Oh, you got to score that!
Come on, that's the third one now. They've had an opportunity.
Oh, that was a layup, man.
That's
you got to put that down. Lay it on the glass. Simple. Not big dunk. 4-point turnaround, UB, a 4-point turnaround.
In the NBA, you miss a layup, the other team scores within 3 or 4 seconds. I don't care what game you go see, it happens every night. And it just happened here.
Yeah.
Cam Reddish with a baseline jumper. Duke by 3, 7 minutes in.
You know, Reddish is being charted by many people, top 5 pick in the NBA draft, as well as Barrett and certainly Zion.
As good as Barrett is getting down. Once he gets to that foul line area into the paint, they run right at him, and they're not going to let him get to the rim.
Right.
So now he's either got to pass earlier or even stop and shoot the jumper and stop being totally unselfish.
R.J. Barrett, the leading scorer in the ACC. Zion Williamson, the second leading scorer in the ACC.
See, got to make that.
Got to make that look. Good execution. Well coached, UB. They got some good stuff to run.
Come on now. I watched him today in the shoot-around. Excellent coaching. Terrific preparation. See, they're in that 3-2 zone again. You can call it a 1-2-2, but it's a flat 3-2. But you cannot continue to let this guy get the ball.
And a lot of teams want to see if Duke can shoot over the top. They'd rather have Duke shooting than driving. That's the guy, though, if he heats up, can be really dangerous from beyond the arc.
Yeah, he can shoot. He started the game against St. John's, knocked down a couple of big threes. He's starting to feel himself being more confident. He struggled out of the gate this year with Duke. He's a talent, though. 6'8", long arms, good lateral quickness.
Oh, nice move.
He created an opening for his teammate. He created an opening. You know, he was recruited by Alabama for football.
4-point lead for Duke. Thanks to the timeouts called by NCAA coaches this season, Infinity is making a donation to the American Cancer Society. This is an Infinity timeout for the win. Learn more at infinitytimeout.com. The ACC on ESPN. Welcome back to Cameron Indoor Stadium. This is one of the unique vantage points. We're up here in the crow's nest. That's my hand. There's Hubie, and there's Dick. Dick working on his free throws. We are high up above the court here. Very cool place, very unique place to do a game with a couple of Hall of Famers. That's all. Dick Vitale and Hubie Brown. And you guys were reminiscing about when you met way back in the day at the 5-star basketball camp. Tell people a little bit about that.
Well, 5-star, when you hear 5-star, you think of Howard Garfinkel. I know he's up in Hoops Heaven. UB, I know he's excited knowing that we're both here together doing the game. UB was a great lecturer at the camp. In fact, I stole all your stuff. You're the lecturer. I didn't tell you. I used to write all that stuff down. I'd like to steal him, though. If I had him, I wouldn't have got fired. I'd have been in the NBA.
5-star basketball camp, a place for great high school prospects and coaches from all over the country to come together.
It's amazing how many high school coaches were then looked at by over a couple hundred college coaches every week at the camp that were then elevated into college coaching and then became head college coaches, and then many of them came into the NBA as assistant coaches and became head coaches. You know, never mind the MVP. The MVP of that camp for 40 years. It's a who's who and what's what of NBA performers, Hall of Famers, All-Americans, and then a lot of guys who missed out because of extracurricular activities outside of basketball and school, who should have been at that level. But it was a tremendous competition, not just for players, but for coaches.
And amongst coaches, New Jersey was well represented. Not just you two guys, New Jersey was very well represented.
Well,
Right?
Mike Fratello, Richie Adubato, the names are unbelievable. Rolly Massimino. I mean, those names are magical. Hey, North Jersey, produced a lot of great players. Great
Jack
coaches.
White meets Kai Bowman right at the rim.
Oh, look at that speed. Look at that speed and agility. We're talking 285 pounds, 6'8". Unbelievable.
See, the big thing right here is now that's his third shot block where you could have laid it up off the glass and not had the shot blocked.
Yeah,
okay? By going for the dunk, they've had 3 blocks in that situation. So give Duke a lot of credit because you brought it out, Dick, earlier. They're one of the top shot blocking teams.
They lead the nation in block shots. You and I were talking about if Duke has a little Achilles heel, there it is right there. The free throw line, they shoot 67% as a team, and their 2 stars, when you talk Barrett and Zion, are both under 70%, Ubi.
Very big point, no doubt about it, because when they get to the playoffs, it's going to be crunch time once you get down inside of 5 minutes. These are your 2 key guys offensively. They're going to carry you. And then if people put them on the line with the foul, they have to step up and make the pressure shot.
1 of 2 for Williamson. Duke, which trailed 8-4 early, now leading by 7 as we near the midway point of the first half here at Cameron. Chapman was open, couldn't get the shot off.
You got to look to score, son. You got to go.
Popovich from 15 can't finish it. Williamson a rebound.
Guys, the message in the Boston College huddles early here is don't turn the ball over. You have to be strong with the ball and continue to hit the defensive glass. They're not worried about offensive boards because they want their guys to get back and play defense, but they've got to be strong on the defensive boards. And also, no uncontested shots and shoot around. Remember, Cam Reddish was represented by the red jersey. He was the only one wearing a red jersey, which means don't leave him for a second. They reminded him of that.
All right, Allison, thank you. And definitely Cam Reddish, the guy you would think you have to fear the most from beyond the arc. Jack White, whose minutes have been down recently. He started off great this season, shot the ball very well. He misses a 3. Boy, Bowman is always in attack mode. This is Chris Herron Jr., number 4 for BC. His dad, of course, a terrific player. Popovich, no, and another board for Zion Williamson.
They got away right there with an offensive foul off the glass. Loose ball foul.
Reddish. And the long rebound down to Bowman.
Come on now, you got numbers here. You've got the score.
Wow, that went in. What do you get, degree of difficulty? You teach that? You teach that,
He
UB?
can't make that shot in his driveway. At home, he can't make that shot again.
With nobody guarding him, he couldn't make that. Hey, that's Hail Mary at its best, baby.
Stephon Mitchell with the bucket, and BC back within 5. Reddish wide open. Well, a couple of breaks for BC, as Allison just told us. Reddish was the one guy they were worried about.
Well, just think about it now. They keep getting the numbers, but they've got the score.
The follow is there as Mitchell scores again.
Nice trail guy by Mitchell.
That's right.
Did a great job trailing the play. Comes in with a good score. I tell you what, they're not intimidated by that Duke jersey.
Not at all. Not at all. They're doing a very good job getting the ball out. Now you have to convert in those 3-on-2, 4-on-3s. Just drive it to the paint and either kick or go all the way.
Left-handed layup. Jones not there. Bolden trying to go over the top, and it's BC ball in transition.
There you go.
Won't stay down for Bowman, but some really good looks have not gone for BC. They could easily be leading this game.
Well, he took a good shot right there. They teach you in terms of when you're in transition, you can pull up at that foul line and make that, and he probably makes that shot. So that was good opportunity, good shot selection. Didn't go down.
Well, that's there for him. Now, you see they're fronting Williamson now when the ball goes to the left side in that zone.
Yeah, out of the zone, they're trying to beat him down, chasing him to the outside.
Trey Jones misses a 3. Bolden keeps it alive, but it belongs to the Eagles only briefly, as a travel is called on Popovich to take us to the under 8 media timeout. Kai Bowman, their leading scorer, a 20-point-a-game guy, has yet to score for BC.
Well,
but
look
thanks
at
to Stephon Mitchell and that.
That's an acrobatic shot right there. Bowman hasn't scored, and also Pons didn't score in the first half against Trey Jones.
Trailing by 7 on ESPN2. Dan, Dick, QB, back to y'all.
All right, Chris, Sean, thank you very much. Michigan State haven't lost 2 in a row as well. Let's take a look now at who's flipping the switch. Brought to you by Boost Mobile. Take it away, Allison.
Yeah, Dan, Tre Jones continuously flips the switch on defense for Duke. You look at this game Saturday against Shamorie Ponds in St. John's. He came into the game averaging almost 21 points a game. And that first half, he was held scoreless. He ended up having 5 turnovers of the game, finished with 11 points, well below his season average. And Tre Jones locking down Ky Bowman here today for BC, who averages over 20 points a game. He is held scoreless so far in this one.
If you can shut down or contain guys like Shamorie Ponds and Ky Bowman, you are a pretty good defender.
Well, Nolan Richardson said years ago, he's in the Hall of Fame in Arkansas when he won the national title. I believe it was 94, in fact, to beat Duke. I would say this, when he's in Arkansas, he said, if you can cut the head off of the point guard and really make him struggle, you really affect the rhythm and the timing of a team offensively.
QB, best defensive point guard you've ever seen. Best guy to lock a guy up.
There are a lot of guys in that category.
There's one I love, Jason Kidd.
Well, Jason Kidd was outstanding, but there's so many, it's hard to just pick out a couple of guys.
Here's a tough turnaround for the baseline that goes for Jarius Hamilton, a 6'8 freshman from Charlotte. Another North Carolina kid playing here at Duke tonight.
Nice baseline jumper. He squared his body well, had the shoulders. I'm hearing you lecture right now about squaring your body to the goal, the release, the rotation.
Blue Devils have missed their last 7 field goal attempts. Reddish.
Oh, he walked.
Yes, he did.
He walked.
See, the top 3 guys in the zone, it looks like a 1-2-2. It flattens out into a 3-2. The only time, they've only messed up twice where 2 guys are on the ball. That opens up that right corner. See, but now they've made an adjustment, and then they're definitely holding Duke to almost 1 shot attempt. Get it and get it out.
The 1 for 11 shooting a 3 right now. Duke shoots 30% as a team. And then taking Bowman at the point of that zone and flattening him in the 3-second area. And he's a terrific rebounder.
Boy, Popovich looked like he had a little bit of a lane there, but he lost the handle.
Yeah, he tried to go with one hand. You can't do that in traffic.
Barrett in traffic, muscles it up and draws the foul.
This is very similar to Saturday sitting here. St. John's played them tough for the first 16 minutes and a half, and then it was a spurt by, well, he scored 10 straight points. Mr. Zion.
R.J. Barrett at the line right now. Got some great college basketball action to come in your way on Saturday, including the top 3 teams in the nation at 4 Eastern. Number 1 Tennessee. The Vols have won a school record 16 in a row. They will take on the Florida Gators. And then the Sonic blockbuster, 6 o'clock Eastern, Charlottesville. Number 2 Duke. Number 3 Virginia in a rematch of a great game they had here a few weeks ago. Both games are also available on the ESPN app. What do you think of Tennessee?
Well, I love Tennessee. Tennessee team, one of my favorites. I think they're going to go to the Final Four. I love their toughness mentally. I like their balance. They got a great 1-2 punch in Schofield and Grant Williams.
Popovich again misses from in close.
He can get that shot every time, every single time. Now, to me, the upset of this first half right now, your high score for Boston College does not have a point.
Right. And they're right now in the ball game without a point. Now, this is a very dangerous time for Boston College. Right now, these 5 minutes.
But here's what I like. He's not turning the ball over. He's not being selfish. He's trying to get the double teams and set up other people.
Nice drive right there.
There you go.
He went right by Zion right there. It was a switch up atop, and he knew there was a switch, and he said, I could beat him off the bounce, and he did.
He had 30 points last year with the BC win over Duke. He had 44 points this season, New Year's Eve against Hartford.
Had 37 against Florida State.
That's right.
Big win.
Boy, Bolden had 3 cracks at it.
Come on, get it up the floor. See, if you're going to hold them like that, get the ball up the floor quick, because then you get them in transition mismatches.
And you get some numbers.
That's right.
Popovich already has made 2 threes tonight, not this time. And Zion Williamson on the verge of a double-double in the first half, 9 points and 8 rebounds.
See, Bowman's going to flatten out by the ACC. He's a rebound. He leads them in rebounds. 7.8 rebounds a game.
He's 6'1".
6'1". I believe
he gets 8 rebounds per game. Barrett, no.
I mean, he's right there. Yep. He had it and let it get away from him.
Tipped away by Williamson. A fresh possession for Duke. Pull up by Jones.
Well, people have a tough time making a medium range jumper.
I just marvel at a guy who plays 40 minutes, has the ball in his hands the whole game, rebounds like he does, distributes. Oh, Popovich might have gotten away with one as he knocked down Zion Williamson.
I think when they're going to win, they're going to understand. All you got to do is throw the ball into him.
Yep.
He'll get within 3 feet of the baskets every time.
Yeah, they're not defending him very well.
That's a no. Another offensive foul.
Yes, sir. Good call.
This referee has made 2 excellent calls.
Yes, sir. Very good call.
Brian O'Connell making
And a lot of times on the road, you don't get that, Dick, as you and I both know.
I know you're always easy on a ref, Shuby. I watched you on the sideline. You were so easy. Darryl Garrettson was one of your favorites. Oh.
A little Zion embellished that up a little bit. Or should that have been an out? Good no call on that play?
No, to me, I didn't want to say it at the time because we were talking. That should have been a foul.
It should have been an offensive foul?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
Nice little curl move right there.
And an air ball from Chapman. The last Duke foul, by the way, was on R.J. Barrett. His third. He has gone to the bench as Williamson is fouled on the drive.
You know, it's really impressive, his handle for a big guy. He really handles the ball exceptionally well.
Timeout on the floor. BC giving Duke all it can handle so far here tonight at Cameron.
ESPN's exclusive.
Duke is a 30% three-point shooting team. They're 1 for 12 today. Can you win a national championship being 1 for 12 for the three?
Well, certainly not in a national championship game, but they're capable of scoring in many ways. But I agree with you. If you're going to play them, I like Gonzaga and Tennessee. I really do. I love Duke, though. You got to like their talent. But they really have an Achilles heel set about shooting the three and also the free throw line. They shoot under 70%. And you know the games, as Yubi said, are going to be close when you get to play other quality teams in tournament time.
O'Connell, a very good shooter. He'll miss it, though, and Duke now 1 for 13 from beyond the arc.
And look who got the rebound. Look who got the rebound.
Listen, he's averaging close to 8 rebounds a game.
Terrific.
Yeah, you have to give him a lot. This guy is a terrific athlete.
You're going to call his games at the NBA level.
Oh, yeah. Well, he can play the 1 or the 2 for you, depending upon how big you are up front. But this guy can score. Remember we said now, why? He's not trying to dominate. Right. He's letting all the other guys get great shots. He's sucking up the defense. Now it might be his time.
Well, he's patient. I like his patience and his poise. And he right there knocks down that big three. Right. And he shot it under control. There was no force. It's a bad shot right there. Shot with pressure on you. You got to really move the ball. They're not moving the ball, getting a good percentage shot.
I just think about this, how poorly Duke is shooting on it.
Wow. Are you serious?
Come on now, we've been waiting.
Wow.
Now, he's opening up now.
Wow.
And he's making it look pretty easy.
He was on the Wooden midseason top 25 list. They came out with a new one today.
He better be on it.
Knocking it down to 20. He's not on that list.
That's really sad.
I think he gets hurt a little bit by their overall record.
Right.
That sometimes the teams with all, the great records, but if there are 20 better players in the country than this guy, and all 20 on the list are great, but I'm telling you, folks, if you have not seen Ky Bowman, this guy is a stud.
He is really special. He doesn't have the kind of help either that a lot of teams have.
Almost banked that one. You don't know if he meant to. The follow by Jared Hamilton way too strong.
Let me tell you this.
Getting after it.
They're on hustling right now.
Yes, they are.
They are on hustling Duke right now on the glass.
If you're coaching Duke, you're upset because no second shot opportunities at the offensive end while you're missing all of these shots.
Unbelievable what they're shooting. Reminiscent of the Texas Tech game I did earlier this year. They had a horrendous day shooting, and then all of a sudden the second half was taken over by Trey Jones.
Bowman the kick. Hamilton baseline wide open.
You gotta make that.
Reyes.
You gotta make that. Let me ask you this mentally, You've coached so many games and been part of the game. Do you think psychologically there's a little problem that Duke might be looking ahead with Virginia and Louisville coming up?
Now that to me is always an easy cop-out. They should be worrying. They should come in here tonight ready to tear these people up so that the second unit gets a lot of minutes in the second half. Keep an eye on this move right here. See, he sucks up that defense off the dribble, and then he finds the right guy. He makes the right pass for the second passer to get an open shot.
Look at his ratings right here. Unbelievable.
On ESPN.com, the Blue Devils projected to have 3 of the top 5 picks in the NBA draft. Ky Bowman down there at number 59. I'll tell you, if somebody gets him at 59, they're going to be happy.
Well, it stops going up and up. That may be 59 today, but that's going up and up. And this is a perfect game for him to play well in.
7 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists so far for Bowman.
Oh, man, he took.
That's a pretty good foul there.
Very good foul.
Keeps the crowd from going crazy.
Yeah, with a dunk. Yeah. It would have been one of the dunks. Would have been. What's your first half assessment right now of the way Boston College has got themselves to where they're up 4?
Well, no, if I'm coaching them, I'm very happy because you're getting great looks. You're holding them to one shot at the other end, and we got all kinds of opportunities in transition.
Well, I think most would agree a surprising score at this point, almost at the end of the first half, at a BC on the road, up by 4.
Yeah, unbelievable. Hey, I labeled you Mr. Analytics before they all talked analytics. I want you to tell the people, you were the first guy that charted, for example, deflections. You were also a guy that charted every offensive possession, so your coaches had to come to you and say, this is working, that's not working. Am I right? You did those things.
Look, I appreciate that, okay? We had our different, from the trainer right on down. The trainer just didn't do fouls. He checked how many shots our best 3 players were getting so that we would not go long periods of time with our top 3 scorers not getting opportunities or catches.
What about deflections? Why was that important?
No, the deflections came from Rick Pitino when he joined us with the New York Knicks because he started that at Boston University. Oh, wow. And then it became a major part of our defense.
A steal and a bucket for Reddish and the Blue Devils right as time expires in the first half. So maybe a little bit of an uptick in momentum and emotion for the Blue Devils heading into the locker room, but it's still the Boston College Eagles who have the lead at halftime here to Cameron, but maybe a big bucket there with the end by Reddish.
Well, it gives you a little momentum, but remember this. Duke was also down. They were down about a week ago against Georgia Tech at halftime and came back strong in the second half.
Let's go down to the court. Allison Williams is with BC coach Jim Christian.
Thank you, Dan. Coach Christian, what have you done well to take a 2-point lead into the half?
I just think we're competing very hard, especially on the glass. You know, we've got 5 guys in there rebounding the ball, and we just got to take care of it. You know, offensive rebounds and turnovers. I mean, they're a lot to handle one-on-one, and, you know, I'm sure that they'll shoot the ball a little better in the second half. But I'm just happy with how we're competing, and guys are playing with confidence. That's all I can ask for. How
do you think Ky Bowman is impacting this game? Took him a while to get his first points, but what has he done well for you guys?
I think he was, you know, again, trying to get everybody involved and loose early, and now he's taking advantage of some mismatches where he can get the ball to the spots he wants.
Jim, thanks.
Coach is happy. 20 minutes in, BC up by 2. Jim Christian's happy with what he's seen so far. The Jeep halftime report. Chris Conner, Seth Greenberg, Sean Farnham after these messages.
It seems.
You're watching Super Tuesday, presented by Boost Mobile, a part of the Reese's 2019 crossover. Game of the crossover, we're here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Dan Shulman, Allison Williams, Dick Vitale, QB Brown. And how about this? Boston College leading Duke by 2 on the road, heading to the second half, trying to pull off the upset here in Durham. Well, Hubie Brown goes back a ways here in Durham. Boy. He was an assistant coach under Vic Bubas and Bucky Waters from 68 to 1972. There's Coach Brown on the sideline. And I think that was there's Dean Smith in the background.
That's Dean in the background.
Yeah. Wow.
And then Bucky is talking to the left of that picture to Robbie West. That was the last. We used to play Carolina. Here in here, we would play them the last game of the year. Yeah. Robbie West in his senior year hits the big shot, and that was really a great team because that Carolina team went to the Final Four.
Folks, the memory this man has is second
Unbelievable.
to none. Are you having fun being back here in this building?
No, come on. This has been a lot. We've seen a lot of great people from the old days.
Stealing money, as you say. And I agree, we're stealing money. Hey, Bucky Waters, he does a great job with our V Foundation as well. A terrific guy. Also, Chuck Daly was on your staff with Vic Bubas. Wow. Chuck Daly and you. Yeah, wow.
Freshman year, my first year, I was freshman coach. Chuck was the assistant, and Vic Bubas was naturally the master. They've been to 3 Final Fours, lost in the finals a couple times. But Vic retired. Chuck gets the Boston College job. And then Bucky, who was an assistant here for 6 years, comes back from West Virginia, very successful, and takes over the Duke program. That's how Bucky arrived.
How similar back then, Hubie, was it to the atmosphere now, the students? I mean, obviously, Coach K has built up the program. The success level has been unbelievable. But it was a very good program back then as well.
Listen,
So
Vic Bubas had an incredible run.
Yeah.
He's one of the top coaches in the country. When you go back over his program, when he took it over, coming from North Carolina State, his first big recruit was Artie Heyman.
Oh, wow.
Out on Long Island, who became an NBA guy, ABA guy, and that turned everything around for Vic.
I thought Vic stepped out of the coaching profession too early. He left so early.
Cam Reddish with a bucket to get it started for Duke here in the second half. They are tied at 30. A miss by Popovich, who has had so many looks in around the bucket, but is now 3 for 11 from the floor.
I'll tell you, the first 5 minutes at the half are really going to be special here for Boston College. They got to contain him. Here's where Duke is usually outstanding, coming out of that locker room.
All right. Now, if you're coaching right now, you went in at halftime and you said, hey, Barrett is 1 for 6 right now. We've got to get him involved. And that's what you like to see when one of your top players takes the ball and gets you the three-point opportunity.
Which he converts on. Let's go down to Allison.
Well, guys, Mike Krzyzewski told us before the game his number one concern for his team was that they had energy and effort going into this game, that they weren't looking ahead to Virginia. And the number one concern at the half is that Boston College is playing harder than Duke. That's what associate head coach John Shire told me. He said they're beating us to loose balls. They're beating us on the rebounds. The other thing is, offensively, obviously, they've struggled to shoot from 3. Shire said it's because we're standing on offense. We're not moving around enough. We have to start moving, creating shots to the rim, and kicking it out.
Some hustle from Zion Williamson at one end, and a 3 for Cam Reddish at the other.
Boy, they need the T.O., baby. The Cameron Gracies now are going wild. Here comes that spurt we're talking about. Unbelievable. This is Duke at its best, coming out of that locker room.
At the end of the first half, Boston College was leading by 2. Why? Well, one of the big reasons, of course, Duke went 1 for 15 from three-point range in the first half. Big numbers in the first half for Zion Williamson. Kai Bowman got it going late for BC. Duke just didn't shoot the ball well. They did get the last bucket of the first half on a steal and a lay-in by Reddish, and they've gotten the first 8 points here in the second half. So it's a 10-0 run right now for Duke.
Yeah, if you talk about big possession, a little trap, trying to trap the ball. Perfect attack for the trap. Bring the ball to the foul line, go opposite, diagonal, great execution.
See, the next time out, you tell that kid, will you please go all the way to the basket? You had a layup. That's one of the hardest shots to make halfway. We call that the midpoint jumper.
Stephon Mitchell with the assist. Jared Hamilton with a bucket to snap the 10-0 run.
There's the zone.
Yep.
Bowman's going to back up. He becomes a rebounder in there. Oh, that's tough.
Nice
play.
See, they played him tough. The big guy was behind him, and the other guy dropped in front.
And a travel by Mitchell.
Can't give these open.
See, they changed their coverage after about the first 10 minutes in the zone. You're going to see the lob pass down and say, you notice they have him sandwiched right there. And that's what they have to do. In the last 10 minutes of the first half, they fronted him quite a few times, which discourages the pass. But then he had inside rebounding, and he had 10 rebounds at the half.
Yeah, because he's hustling. He's the one guy hustling. Yeah. Duke was out-hustled in that first half as a team.
Williamson with a rebound and a putback.
He always seems to be in the right place. He always seems to be in the right place. The wide body with the great bounce off the floor.
The 9th double-double of the season for Williamson, who in his last 4 games, guys, coming into this one, shooting 79% from the field, and the big reason why, plays like that, rebounds and easy putbacks around the rim.
Well, he and Barrett, the only 2 in the country as a tandem. He got bumped. He got bumped. This guy's got a nose for the ball. Watch the shot goes up. Look at Williamson. He's already thinking about it, and he's got that nose for the ball, and he knows how to convert when he gets the offensive rebound.
But see, you look at it, you say 6'6", 6'7", 280. The main thing is that he can play the glass in the paint, and it's an easy shot for him. The rest of these guys struggled in that area.
All right, Hubie, so let me ask you, you've seen as much basketball as anybody out there. As you said, he's about 6'7", 280. He's a phenomenal athlete for a guy his size. 2 questions. 1, which is the tough one. Is there anybody he reminds you of, which is the classic cliche question?
I think he's unique.
Yep.
Because also the fact he's left-handed. All right, that you put that size in there. Most of the guys like that are right-handed guys. Well, the left-handers always have that half a step, a little advantage. The big thing is that he keeps working. Now, in the NBA, can he play small forward and then run and guard those big scorers? Right. Small forwards, can he play the backcourt? Well, that's very questionable out of two. But he's a power forward, small forward type of a guy. Oh, it is one of the greatest of all time, George McGinnis in the ABA. Not only was he an All-American at Indiana in basketball and in football as a high school guy, and then one of the all-time great players that played in the ABA and the NBA.
Yeah, he was special, no question about it. You know, a lot of people talk about him with Sean Kemp. They talk about him with, they're certainly right there with some McGinnis. But I firmly believe that there's a comparison more Barkley, because Barkley had to bounce off the floor. Those guys were talented, skilled, really outstanding players. There's a three going down, Reddish could shoot it. Yeah. And I really believe they didn't have the bounce off the floor that this kid has.
Well, he's got it, no doubt about it, Dick. But then again, you're not doing it again.
Oh!
There you go. Oh, come on now. There you go. He's bringing you.
Speaking of bounce.
He's got to bring him back. He just blew by two guys.
Stock going up, baby. Ky Bowman, stock going up. Hubie Brown loves you. And he's an icon. He's a legend. Right. I'm going to be a PR now.
Good look for Trey Jones, not there. Cam Reddish is making some shots, but Duke, other than him, struggling from beyond the arc. Hamilton steps out of bounds. Duke ball, 7-point lead. Timeout on the floor. How about Ky Bowman with a flush?
Well, this guy, what he's giving you the 6'1 explosion. I can take the double team and make the right pass, but when I want to accelerate, you're going to have a tough time guarding me.
ESPN's.
We'd like to show you Bowman in the open floor as he blows by right here, Jones, and he opens up and splits two big men. Now remember, 6'1", 188. Look at the power of the jump and the throwdown. If you've been watching closely, with Duke pressing full court, then trapping him, double teaming him, he's the only guy who can handle the ball and make things happen for Boston.
Yeah, he's playing really the entire game. This is a game where they missed the kid Tabs. Tabs was an extra ball handler and a scorer. He played, but look, the last 5 games he's missed, he played in 1, and they won the game. He played 28 minutes, and they beat Florida State in that 5, but he hasn't played since.
Corner 3 for Trey Jones to extend the lead to 10.
Yeah, they're giving up possessions. They should have had the ball. They turned it over, Boston College, and Duke made him pay for it. Look at Jones now getting over the top of that screen. He bumped him, though. You got to blow the whistle.
ESPN of the ACC will bring you the ACC Network in August. 15 universities, 1 network. Visit getaccn.com to learn more. Dan Shulman, Hubie Brown, Dick Vitale, Allison Williams, part of the crossover. And another one coming up after this, Kansas at Kansas State, as my man John Shabby will be with Chauncey Billups and Stan Van Gundy calling that game in the Little Apple.
What a big-time shot. He takes him one-on-one. He posts up, uses strength, and goes right over the top because of his legs, Hubie. He gets that good bounce off the floor and gets the good release.
Look, we know he's got a football build, and he's an outstanding athlete. The thing I like about him is he's under control. And that's so hard when you are the guy that must control the game and then make everybody else get open. That's difficult to do.
Yeah, you got to not only handle the ball, you got to score, you got to distribute. He's a facilitator as well.
Yeah.
How about a 6'1" guy posting up, little turnaround jumper?
Well, he knows that he can take that guy. Yeah. He's going to force the double team, and then he'll open up a three-point shooter. Because just remember now, their second-best scorer can't get his shot, Chapman, unless there's a double team and a kick out.
A little bit strong in the jumper. Williamson skies above everybody for his 14th rebound of the night.
Wow, he made 20 rebounds tonight. Very quiet 22.
Yes.
We haven't seen a big dunk, an explosive play yet.
Well, I think for me, I said, gee, you know, he's rebounding okay at halftime. I mean, your points. I was surprised when he 9 points. No, I was surprised that he had 10 rebounds.
Reddish, little handoff to Bolden, can't get a shot off. Shot clock running down. Williamson got the rim, kept it alive, and it winds up Duke basketball.
Wow. See, those are the kind of plays, 50-50 plays. When you're the club that's the underdog, you can't allow the favorite to get those kind of plays. You got to come up with that ball. If winning isn't, you don't want a moral victory. There's no such thing anymore, not at this level.
Spinning is Barrett into lots of traffic, follows it and draws the foul.
That's a bad shot right there, totally out of control. You're not going to get that.
All right, Hubie, let me ask you about R.J. Barrett. We haven't talked about him a lot. He came in as the #1 incoming freshman in the country. Zion Williamson's had an enormous season. Most mock drafts still project Barrett as the #2 pick. Not just tonight, but from what you've seen watching games on TV, what do you see from Barrett?
Yeah, well, what I was looking for is, can he go to his right? We know he's left hand. Can he go to his right and beat guys, make the play in traffic if he gets double teamed? Now, in the first half, he was struggling. He was 1 for 6. The zone kept him out of any really good looks. Now, once the transition is happening now, let's see if his game will come to life here from now to the end. But he has basically been a non-entity here because you're talking about a guy who gets you over 20.
Yeah, Duke has the only team in the country with 2 guys averaging better than 20. Williamson and certainly Barrett.
See, I say, though, you have to worry about the 2 of them. They only shoot 30 and in the 20s on the 3 ball. And then both of them are shooting in the 60s on the foul line. That must improve as they run through their next 6 games, which is probably one of the toughest parts of their schedule, then the 2 tournaments.
Yeah, how about how about the back end of the ACC schedule for Duke? Here are their road games the rest of the way. Virginia, Louisville, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, and North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Now, come on now.
But let me say this. Let's get this straight right now. Do you think anybody's feeling sorry for Duke with those 6 games when you've got 3 players? When is the last time a team had 3 players that'll probably go in the top 5 of the draft? I can't remember the last time I had 3. I know Kentucky had Davis and Gilchrist, but I don't remember 3 in the top 5. I mean, that's unbelievable. So nobody's feeling sorry, Mr. Schumann. Nobody.
I was not implying that. I was just giving the facts, man. Just giving the schedule.
Dan and I are just doing the game. You brought that up. Okay.
No, because really, people don't want to hear about feeling sorry for Duke. They're loaded. Look at the best starting 5 in basketball. Would you trade that starting 5 for 85?
I think they're the most talented starting 5 in the country. But a lot of teams could win it all. They can be beat.
Oh, Gonzaga, right? Tennessee.
Yep.
I mean, come on. On a given day, Michigan State, when they're playing well, not like they're playing lately. They're all capable.
Luka Kraljevic into the game for BC now. Bowman to Heron in the corner. And the former walk-on who was awarded a scholarship at the beginning of the 2nd semester knocks down the 3. Boy, Reddish with a nice crossover move there, getting by a defender, but he draws the foul. Not just a standstill shooter.
Heron right there with that 3. I know his dad's going to be proud of that. His dad had some problems. He only played 1 game, like a half, with Boston College. Then went with Jerry Tarkanian. Had some problems up Fresno State in terms of drug tests, etc. It's been documented, but he's done a phenomenal job with his life.
Absolutely.
And now he goes around the nation and try and inspire and motivate people to make the right decision. Chris does a terrific job.
Listen, he was an excellent player back at that time.
Absolutely.
While his life was having trouble. And it was too bad because he was a very talented guy.
But it's great to see him helping out so many young people today.
Absolutely.
He's come off the canvas. I love that. The fact that he's come off that canvas. He's terrific. You get a chance to listen to him speak, people.
There's a 1-4 now.
Bowman driving on to Laurier. Too much length for him to get the shot over.
No way. On that ball's got to go into the box above the rim, and he was a foot off.
Trying to post him right here.
Barrett and fouled on the 2nd attempt.
Giving up too much size right there. A big size advantage, Barrett right there with Bowman. Bowman's not backing down from any window. When you put Bowman with teams that can surround him with really big-time five-star players, you'll see this kid really, I think, step forward. There's a great coaching staff for Dukes. The one thing common denominator of their staff, all Duke former players. Think about James, Carrawell, Shire. Coach K does that deliberately. He wants kids to feel the excitement of what it was like to play at Duke.
Williamson back in now for Coach K.
Duke has the top 2 scorers in the ACC when you talk about Barrett Williamson and Bowman's right there.
13 now for Barrett, and the lead is 11.
Well, he's got a quiet 13. I'll tell you, real quiet 13.
Yeah, but it's all happened here in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, like you said, he's 1 for 6 in the first half. Kid has to do too much.
Williamson guarding Bowman right now, and he got a piece of it.
Yeah, that was not a good play by him. His ego got him. His ego caught up with him. He saw Williamson coming out playing.
Excellent point, Dick. That's exactly what happened there.
Timeout on the floor. 52-41. The Blue Devils leading the Boston College Eagles. When we come back, some basketball history, a little history lesson with our 2 Jersey boys.
Wait, I didn't know you played for
Our producer Kim Belton, a terrific player back in his day at Stanford, got in touch with our 2 Jersey boys, Coach Vitale, Coach Brown, and asked him who's the best high school player from each decade. And in consultation with Hubie and Dick, Will Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, who Hubie coached in the 70s, Moses Malone, how about Patrick Ewing coming out of the Boston area in the 80s, Kevin Garnett in the 90s, LeBron in the 2000s, Anthony Davis, just an enormous talent. Jabari Parker came out of high school, came into college with enormous height, and could it be Zion Williamson? Who will be the signature player, if you will, from the 2000 teams?
I think, you got to look at Anthony Davis right now. Anthony Davis is off the charts. Off the charts.
Listen, Anthony Davis is a starting center on the all-pro team for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
We're talking about one of the 5 best players in the league. He can play outside. He can post up. He's got a mid-range game. He blocks shots, rebounding. He's in the top 10, shooting percentage, and then he can defend along with all that.
Other than that.
And also, hey guys, when it's all said and done, his bank account's going to go like you 2 guys. It's going to go up and up.
Hubie, do you have a hunch where you think he winds up? Short-term or long-term?
You can't even get into that, okay?
It's crazy.
Especially when we came over here, supposedly the Lakers have stepped back now and have cut off communications after New Orleans has made putting forth an offer that the Lakers would not even listen to.
Well, let me tell you this. I think the commissioner stepped in. I just can't see players dictating what's happened to all the smaller franchises. Do they have any chance whatsoever? Guys dictating where they want to go, when they want to go. I'll tell you one thing. Whoever drafts this kid, he's going to love it. He's a box office bonanza as well as skill.
I'll tell you what, on the court, that guy dictates where he wants to go and when he wants to go.
He's unbelievable. He really is so talented. What I love about him, you heard Coach K talking to us, Hubie. What a great kid. Isn't it great to hear about a great player being a super all-around young man?
Aaron trying to keep possession and eventually turns it over. And here comes Jones. And he is fouled before the shot. Trey Jones is a guy that Coach K in his office looked at you, Hubie, and he said, Hubie, you would love that kid.
Well, every coach likes to have a point guard who's special, can guard people. He also plays on the offensive end, so he's complete.
Well, you like the fact that he is physical. You can be big and you can be strong, but you have to be physical and show it. Along with that quickness and elevation, outstanding. Because at the next level, he's going to be playing against people that big, that strong, and quick. Maybe not as quick as he is, but he's got the left hand. He handles the ball extremely well. And let's face it, he's a young dude. He's going to get better and better. And you hope that wherever he lands, they have an excellent coaching staff that's going to take his talent to another level.
There he is on the offensive board. You be just on cue. He loves to play. Has passion, my friend. Has passion.
15 and 15 for Zion Williamson tonight.
He's a double-double machine. I'll tell you one thing. Whatever general manager who makes the decision and does it, that's a great move right there.
Excellent move. Now, that was a camp move right there.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
That was a 5-star move.
No, that was well, come on, that was done well. And when he leaves after tonight, he should play the rest of the season with a lot of confidence because he's gotten himself in that painted area against these Duke centers and power forwards easily and gotten off a lot of nice baby hooks and moves. He should come out of this game with confidence.
Yeah, he's improving. He's improving.
Nick Popovich, a junior from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I mean, solid numbers. The guy averages 14.7 rebounds per game.
Well, he's going to score a little bit, too, because right now they need scoring other than Bowman, obviously. And he missed that Tabs kid so much.
Well, Hubie was talking a little bit about the next level and Zion Williamson and what he projects to be at the next level. Here are teams who would love to have a shot at him, and here are teams who will have as good a shot at him as anybody.
Well, the Knicks better get somebody great. I'm so disappointed what's happened with the Knicks. They charge major league prices, as I said the other day, and yet minor league basketball. It's an embarrassment.
And a block is called.
Game's starting to get away.
Bowman is still down, Dick.
Watch out now, yeah.
Bowman stepping in and trying to draw a charge on R.J. Barrett, and he got the worst of it.
He did. It's the old story of the angle. The referee on the angle that he has on that drive when that player steps in. They can't afford to lose this guy.
It's also his 4th foul.
Keep an eye on it right now. Now, see, he steps in. Now, to me, I would be up off the bench and I would have a technical already. All right, because I would want the charge on that call.
So does Jim. Jim wants it too. Jim wants it too.
Yeah.
Not very happy. You're away from home right now. Those calls, basically, when they're questionable, you're going to go to the home team.
And he might have just gotten teed up. I don't think it was a warning. Yeah, I think it was a technical. And I think Jim Christian is saying I was checking on my player because he was injured, but maybe he said something on his way back to the bench.
Well, he had a right on that play. That's from our angle. Remember, it always comes down to angles. You know, watch it right there. See, when a guy,
I thought he lowered his shoulder.
When a guy lowers his shoulder and puts it in your number, into your number, that's a charge every time. Because that means you're there. But you see, he's injured. He might be injured. You never want to guess on injuries. I'm just sorry that it happened because he's playing a very solid game here tonight.
Well, he's a heck of a player. He really is. He better make the all-conference team. The kid gives everything, plays every minute.
And there's the technical foul called on Jim Christian. As we mentioned, Kai Bowman almost never comes out of the game. Coming into tonight, 320 minutes in conference play. He's been on the floor for 318 of them.
Yes.
Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. He's the Cal Ripken of basketball.
And whether they took him out because he's shaken up or the 4th foul or a combination of the two.
You can't worry about fouls. Now you got to try to stay in the game. And he knows that.
He's getting away right now, 16 and going up.
This game reminds me so much of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had him at halftime in this building, and at the end of 2 minutes into the second half, the lead went to 12. The 1-3-1 zone was giving him a lot of problem, and unfortunately for Georgia Tech, just like what's happened here, 6 straight turnovers, and Duke scored right down and went up, and then they fell apart. Because they wore you down, and that's what they're doing right here to Boston College.
Well, they out-challenge you at almost every position except maybe Bowman and Josie. Look at this. Here we go. Here we go. He's trying to get too fancy. He's trying to get too fancy. He can't believe, look at him. He can't believe he missed it. He bricked it. He's human. He's human.
They're cheering him for a missed dunk here at Cameron.
I think he got a little too nonchalant.
Listen, we've seen 3 dunks here tonight. Missed. Okay?
Yeah.
3. Unfortunately for Boston College, a couple early.
So 47 dunks already this year.
The Duke notes tell us he's the only player in the country with 40 or more blocks, 40 or more steals, and 40 or more dunks.
That's pretty good season. That's earning your scholarship.
You would like to see that covered a lot more those statistics about his talent.
Yes.
Because this gives you why everyone is so high, because he's an all-around.
Yep.
It's just not about points and rebounds.
And by the way, Bowman back into the game for BC. And Jones doesn't want to let him get the ball. So Chapman inside and fouled by Bolden, who didn't like the call.
I got a funny feeling, even though he missed that, baby, it'll be on Sports Center. Low light. Hey, Hubie, I want to ask you something. Now, think about this, Hugh. I did a little research, the NBA. 2014, they took 51,000 threes. 2018, it was up to 70-something thousand. This year, at the midpoint mark, they're on the verge of 90,000. What is happening to the game? So much threes. I don't think it's good for basketball. What do you think?
Now look, the main thing is the game has changed because of no hand checking, no hard fouls, and that shot blocking is down. And now they're playing quicker because everything now is pick and roll, pick and pop, one-on-one, get it up quick, drive, kick, shoot the three. There are two teams over 40 a game. You think they're only getting in the 80s shot attempts because Oklahoma City leads the league in shot attempts at 93. So the three ball is going up with an awful lot of teams where I know what you're saying. Why don't they post up? Where's the secondary break?
Right.
Where is the continuities to get higher percentage shots? Well, the analytical people have taken over here now, and they are trying to say that you should take the three or drive to the basket and you get fouled or get the layup. Now, see, that's all well and good until somebody wins a championship.
Right.
I knew one thing.
Okay.
I knew Dr. Brown would have an answer.
No.
You got a doctorate in hoopology.
No, hold on. Now, see, everybody says, well, what about Golden State? Golden State has the
three great shooters.
Best offensive team in basketball. They make you play 50 feet wide, down screens, back screens, stagger screens, and everything. They play 3-on-3, 2-on-2. And then they're moderate now in regards to the upper echelon of three-point attempts. But people want to lump them in there because of Curry and Thompson being so great.
Hey, let me tell you this, Hubie. Now they got Cousins. Is anybody going to be able to beat Golden State?
Well, you don't know. Look, come on. When you get to the conference finals and finals, you have to be healthy. Just stop and think about it. Yeah. And then also the guy, if you're losing one of your starters and they step in, can the guy step in and get the other guy's minute? So there's a lot of reasons why you're successful at conference finals and the finals.
Look at this list. Some of the guys, the coach knows of what he speaks. Look at those guys he coached.
Not bad.
Guys.
All right, Chris, thank you. Looking forward to that. That's always a great rivalry, Kansas and Kansas State.
Oh, it really is. They've lost the last 8 times, Kansas State, but I think they're going to celebrate tonight. I really feel Wade and Brown somehow, with their defense, they're a tough team defensively. Coach Weber's got them playing great defense, but a little up and down. I know Kansas came off that big win they just recently had, but I'm giving edge. Kansas State will celebrate tonight.
Meanwhile, here Duke was down 2 at the half. They're up 19 now on Boston College, leading 64-45. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, Hubie Brown, Allison Williams, part of the crossover. Popovich gets inside, can't finish off the window.
Well, Hubie's right. It's just a carbon copy of the Georgia Tech game. You're up at halftime, then all of a sudden turnovers and transition, offensive rebounds, and they just start dominating.
Corner 3, Reddish. And rebound number 17 for Williamson.
You know what I like about his rebound in Hubie? He doesn't just get rebounds in his area. He can go laterally. He's got great hands when he gets that rebound.
The great rebounders all have that sense. Wherever they are when the shot goes up, they understand angles of where the ball is going to bounce to.
And the best I ever saw was Moses Malone.
Oh, Moses. By the way, they're finally retiring Moses' number in Philadelphia Friday night at the Denver game.
It's never been retired?
Not been retired. Think about that. 83, Moses, Doc, and that great team that they had. They were on the cover of Sports Illustrated, arguably as the greatest team. He wins MVP. and he was just absolutely spectacular.
I didn't know that, UB. That's interesting.
Chapman knocks down to 3 for the Eagles.
I wish he was living to see that moment. He died so young.
You're absolutely right there.
Awards.
One of the nicest guys you ever wanted.
Oh, great heart, man.
What a talent. What a talent.
They see a 20-rebound night tonight out of Williamson.
Duke showing a lot of patience their last few trips down the floor.
Nice
move by Bolden.
Oh, wait. That is a big man post-up drill at 5-star. Howard Garfinkel's excited. UB's giving a lecture.
Hold on.
God,
how many times have you seen the guy catch the ball there tonight? That was the first time. First time they hit him on the box.
Oh, and he knew what to do.
And he said, that's exactly right.
You know what happened? He watched one of your videotapes. This guy lectures all over the nation. He's impacted so many coaches. I'm going to be your PR guy, man. Come on.
Again, Duke very deliberate as they come up the court, up 18, less than 6 minutes to go. 21 points for Cam Reddish, 16 points, 17 rebounds for Zion Williamson.
Oh, look out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And you can just see how they respond to Tre Jones on the court. When he gets them set up, tells them what to do, they listen to him. He's got great leadership qualities for a freshman.
Right, very cerebral, understands how to play. Learned a lot from his brother. His brother now in the NBA with Minnesota.
O'Connell thought about it. The long 2 as well.
Well, you know, he got the big screen. He put up the big screen by Zion. I mean, he can lay a mean screen with that body.
He's a Roswell, Georgia boy.
Yeah.
Up a couple of towns from where I live in Georgia.
I know you used to be down in Dunwoody. I was at your house one time.
He's been a good substitute for them.
They got Reddish right now playing against Bolden. Got that great size.
Popovich
Nice
scores
move.
over Bolden.
Yeah, he's had a nice afternoon. Nice.
He's going to be okay. I'll tell you what. By next year, he keeps working, gets more confidence from the rest of the season, works hard over the summer. He's going to be a handful in this thing because if you allow him to catch the ball, he has moves.
Yeah, he knows what to do. He's got pretty good touch, too.
Reddish trapped in the corner.
Yeah, nice play.
Oh, and Williamson lost it on the way up.
Ball slipped out of his hand.
Yep.
He was thinking Jam City
Yes,
right
he
there.
was.
And Reddish knew where to go with the ball.
Nice pass by Reddish.
Yeah, really
take
good
that double team, right?
You don't see a little bit of a scowl on it. He's unhappy with himself. You don't see that expression on his face very often.
Well, he's frustrated. He wanted to come down with a big dunk. He's been look.
He's unhappy.
He's a competitor, man. He's upset. Look at him. Look at that face. Don't be upset, son.
Future still pretty bright, you're saying?
Oh, I think his stock has gone way off the charts. I mean, think about it. If you're an NBA general manager, how would you not take him number 1? You'd have to go to bed at night. Remember Jordan went number 3?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't make that kind of mistake. You won't sleep at night.
Chapman with a bucket for the Eagles. The clock just keeps on ticking, though. No whistles for a long time here. And Duke on its way to its 20th win of the season.
Chapman, by the way, Dad was an outstanding player at BYU.
Reddish is feeling it. Reddish having himself a night. He's got 24.
He's not touched.
See, now there's a guy that very quietly has those numbers that you just said.
Yeah.
And he's just stayed within. He hasn't. Every time he got double team, he passed out of the double team.
See, that's why the NBA people really like him, because he has range as a shooter. Yeah. He's got the long arms, UB. He can play the passing lanes really well, and he handles really well.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile.
The head coach, and you go back to his first year at Army, and ever since then he's kept the same tradition of handwriting out his practice notes. He's done it for every practice. We're able to get a copy of it, and he keeps them as well. Those are his binders with the old practice notes. Here's an example of one, and you can see it goes through the entire day. This was yesterday's practice. It begins with individual work at 1:15, then it's into film room, back out to the court for stretch, and it breaks down what they want to work on in 5-minute increments. Yesterday it was the offense against the 2-3 and 1-2-2 zone, defense against Boston College, but now he keeps them, and he actually has a secretary, Jerry Brown, type them out on an old school typewriter and put them in those binders so he can go back and reference them, see what he did at different times, different days. And it made me think, guys, Hubie, did you do something similar when you would script out your practices as a head coach?
Do you still have some of the old notes from the coaching days?
Listen, all the practices are on 5x8 cards. Every coach has it.
Yeah.
And every guy knows where he's teaching every minute of the hour and a half to hour, so forth and that, as you move through the season. From 2 hours exhibition to an hour and a half, then to an hour once you get to March, and then stuff like that. Every minute of every practice is organized.
That's standard procedure. I'm not saying
Absolutely.
that everybody basically is doing the same
Absolutely.
thing. I would say it's a standard procedure, really, in most cases. Your coaches really chart and plan. The only difference is he's charting and planning for McDonald's All-Americans down the whole lineup.
I'll tell you another good story Coach K told us before the game tonight. This is obviously, every game is big for him. Every game is meaningful. But for his family, they had to make a choice. They're now up to 19 on the night. Coach K's grandson, Michael Savarino, is playing his final high school basketball game tonight, and the whole family's watching Michael instead of being here watching Coach K.
I guarantee they know what's happening here, though, for sure. And by the way, Michael's going to be here next year as a preferred walk-on.
Yeah.
David Robinson's son's on the team as a preferred walk-on.
I would say if your grandfather's the coach, you're preferred.
You're preferred, yeah. You better be preferred.
Very good, Dan.
And he better get some playing time, or he's going to have to come home and deal with his wife. And tell one thing, she will not be happy. She'll say, Coach, how come you didn't play our grandson?
Trey Jones with the ball on a string, but as I say that, turns it over, then he gets it back and lays it in.
He gets the loose ball, lays it off the glass.
Coming up next, the 6th annual crossover continues. Got a college analyst paired with an NBA analyst to do the game. It'll be John Schaube with Stan Van Gundy and Chauncey Billups, Kansas and K-State. Tomorrow night, Ryan Ruocco with Doris Burke and Jay Billis, the Wizards and the Bucks, and then the Spurs and Warriors. Dave Pashas with Mark Jackson and Rebecca Lobo.
Tell you what, that's a combination right there. Rebecca going one-on-one on Jackson. I don't know. I think I'll take Rebecca. I'm sorry, Mark. Mark can really dish the rock, though, man, when he played at St. John's.
Big ovation for the rest of the Duke freshmen as they come out.
Well, now they're
now 25.
Now they're real season for them. When I say real season, it gets down crunch time right now. Heading to Virginia Saturday. Tuesday night, I'll see them up in Louisville. What a job Chris Mack's done with that team in Louisville.
Absolutely.
Came in a tough situation.
Done a terrific job.
Yeah, terrific.
Terrific job.
This kid's well coached. Kid Ryan McMahon had a big game yesterday. Proud of him. He's from Sarasota, Florida.
That Duke-Virginia game is going to be something. The first game here was terrific.
Yes,
Duke was a little bit short-handed, but they still won the game. And to see what happens this week in Charlottesville, I mean, these are two great teams. They play such different styles, but they're such great programs.
Different styles, two outstanding coaches. And the one thing I love about Virginia is their 3 perimeter players. I think they're as good as a trio that you could find when you talk about Guy, Jerome, and Hunter.
Tune into SportsCenter after the late game tonight. John Anderson, Kenny Mayne. Jay Will joins the show to explain why Zion and Duke are in for some big tests coming up, as Dick and Hubie were just talking about. Plus, Paul George's amazing season and a look at the NFL's off-season power program.
I want to simply say, Hubie, it's been a big thrill for me to sit next to you, buddy.
Come on, it's a lot of fun here tonight.
St. Mary's,
Listen,
Elizabeth,
we had the
Alabama.
man here distributing the time. Dan did a great job. No one got hurt.
No one got hurt. We tried to keep our turnover total low.
There you go.
We did all right.
And also, I think the biggest victory, as he had said, Chuck, Hubie and I, 164 years, and we've been able to climb the steps to get up in this booth. I mean, that's incredible. That's a victory in itself.
Hey, and speaking for all basketball fans, we hope you two guys keep doing this for many more years.
Well, that's very kind of you, Dan.
Well, I'll tell you this. A writer asked me, what keeps you guys so excited about what you're doing? And I think the one thing I can say, I said in the article, Hubie and I have been able to do what we've done because we always had a passion and love for the game since the time we were kids. I think you'd agree with that, Hubie.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We were all influenced at an early age by outstanding coaches. And then as you go up through high school to assistant in college and stuff like that, you then get exposed. And for me, I got my doctor's degree in offensive basketball at Milwaukee with Larry Costello. And we had a couple of guys not bad. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar winning the MVP for the 3rd time in 4 years, and Oscar Robertson at the end, along with Dan Rich.
That helps. Let's take a look now at tonight's Player Spotlight. Brought to you by Reese's in the aftermath of this 80-55 win for Duke over Boston College. And you could have picked 2 or 3 different guys, but Cam Reddish had himself a night. He made some shots tonight, Dickie.
Yeah, he really did. He had a little ball. There he is with a great steal right there. That was the end of the half. That gave him a little momentum. The end of the half. There he is, draining the 3. His stock is going up now. There's no question. I don't know how much higher it could go. They got him projected in the top 5.
Hubie, close it out. Give me some thoughts on what you saw here tonight. Oh, wait a minute. First, we're going down to the court. We'll come back with Hubie in a moment. Cam Reddish is with Allison Williams.
Thank you guys very much. Cam, this will go down as a lopsided victory, but it was a 2-point Boston College lead at the half. What did Coach Krzyzewski tell you guys at halftime?
I told you to pick it up or else, really. So we had to come out here and fight and just give it our all.
I know he was a little concerned going into this game. You guys might be looking ahead to Virginia. Did you feel that at all?
I felt it a little bit, obviously, but we had to come out and just play, really, trust each other and just play.
This is our NBA crossover game, so we've got Hubie Brown as our analyst tonight, along with Dick Vitale. I want to ask you a question about the NBA. Who are a couple guys that you feel like your game is similar to, or whose game you look up to?
Paul George, obviously, KD. But at the end of the day, I also want to be myself, and that's that.
The guys you play with, how NBA-like are they?
You guys already know. I don't have to say much about it.
That's true. Their plays speak for themselves. Thanks, Cam. Guys.
All right, Hubie, close it out for us. Did you have fun tonight?
Oh, absolutely. This was a ball. Being with Dick, especially being with you also.
But nice to work with you again. It's been a few years.
Great to see you again.
It was great.
You did a great job, Dan.
Thank you. A lot of fun being with a couple of Hall of Famers, Dick Vitale and Hubie Brown. For those two, Allison Williams, I'm Dan Shulman for our great crew tonight. Thanks for watching. Kansas and Kansas State are coming up as the crossover continues. But for now, we'll say goodnight from Durham and send it back to the studio.